Hi, this is Aaron Wilson. I'm with KPRC2 Sports Director Randy McIlvoy. And we're on YouTube, and we're talking about the Texans. They had their first day of training camp.
Yep.
And, it started with a press conference. So I want to go through a little bit of what Nick Caserio had to say, some of his highlights of Nick. And, Nick is not the most effusive guy. He even weighed in on what he called a non-story, his guaranteed rookie contract for Jaden Higgins, which even the Wall Street Journal wrote about it. It was going to cause all this consternation. Guess what? Only one rookie, and he has a domestic violence charge that Judkins from the Browns is why he's not signed. So it all got done. As Nick said, they were heading toward 100% guarantees. He decided to set a milestone negotiating-wise with Jaden Higgins. He likes Jaden Higgins that much.
Yeah, he does. He's very high on him, and he's not one to look around and say, hey, what's everybody else doing? He kind of wants to lay his own path. As the general manager of this football team, he's always done that. Nick Caserio doesn't apologize for it. Feels like it was in the best interest of the team, and he's moving on.
Yeah, it did upset some of his colleagues around the NFL. None of them voiced it publicly, but guess what? He's not collaborating with those GMs. He is competing against them. He's doing what he thinks is the best for his team, as you said. So then Jimmy Ward, as we expected, he's not able to practice because of his foot. He had foot surgery, but he also has an active case in Montgomery County we've been covering. August 13th, court date is a third-degree felony domestic violence. So D'Amico Ryans, who's known him a long time, D'Amico talked about it after practice. Tough situation. This is a legal matter. We take it very seriously. We'll see what happens in court. But that is the normal approach when you have a player, even a team captain that's done some great things in the community. When they have a serious legal situation, you have to just reserve judgment and let it play out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to say very little about it, as they should. And he addressed it briefly, and they're going to move on and turn the page. And hopefully Jimmy Ward will be a part of what they're doing around here. But jury's still out, and we'll find out kind of what direction that goes.
Joe Mixon, and we talked about this with that him being in the walking boot in the spring and then an ankle brace, that he might not be ready, but he's on the path. It's all about the Rams game. That's what counts, guys. I know everybody wants everybody to be out there the first day, but there were a lot of guys that were out there. Christian Harris, Braxton Berrios, Brevin Jordan. By the way, Harris had his bad calf injury, but he is back. And Berrios and Brevin, they tore their ACLs during the season, and they're already back. No Tank Dell, but a relatively, even though it was a long list, there's nothing that serious other than Tank that's keeping a guy out.
Yeah, and D'Amico was asked obviously about Tank Dell, and he said when he's back, you'll know he's back. You can tell the lingo that's coming from the Texans. You and I have talked a lot about this back when this injury first happened. I talked to a trainer that had very close ties to the National Football League, and he knew immediately because his eyes are trained to look at certain injuries. He said, I'll tell you right now, this is right after the injury, like the next day, he said, you're not going to see Tank Dell next season. Absolutely. He's going to be around rehabbing. He's going to appear to look okay, but he's not going to be football ready. So he said just in 2026 when you're going to see Tank Dell.
The quickness, the speed, and the twitchiness, that's what is the final stage. It's not just about can the knee take a hit. That is the baseline. It's about being special, and Tank's 165 pounds soaking wet, so he's got to have uncommon and rare mobility and moves, and that won't come back until next year. But Tank, speedy recovery, as Nico Collins said. Miss you, bro. We'll make plays for you. And I am pretty excited about the receiving core, and it's a new look receiving core. Yes, they'll miss Tank, but Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Christian Kirk, to go with a stud blue chip #1 wide receiver, true Pro Bowl guy in Nico Collins. Randy, what do you think this receiving core could be?
Well, if you're a defense right now, you're looking at it and you're not overly concerned outside of Nico Collins. Schultz is going to have to show he can bounce back. Christian Kirk, there's a little bit of unknown still with him because of the injury situation. I think he's got something left in the tank. He's got to show it to you. You mentioned Higgins and Noel, high upside. I loved what I saw during the offseason. A little bit today, but until we see deeper in camp and some games, it's the if factor, but the possibility is certainly there that this could become a special group. I do think it's still relatively a concern right now outside of Nico Collins until these guys can prove it.
Need a solid group from the offensive line, and they've taken to heart. They've heard the criticisms, and as D'Amico Ryan says, I can't talk you guys into. I'm not that convincing to tell you, hey, the offensive line's going to do their job, and he's got confidence in these guys. But it's a work in progress, and we saw a different offensive line configuration. We saw not Jake Andrews. We saw Jared Patterson, the incumbent, who ended last year as a starter. Not a big shock that you would have a guy that started last year on the first day of camp, but it's a competition between Andrews, former Patriot, former Troy University guy, and Patterson. But we saw Ariante Ursa with the ones instead of Blake Fisher. I think they're going to go back and forth.
Were you surprised at that, or do you think it'll just be a rotation?
I thought they would let Fisher start the first day.
I thought so too.
As a nod to him second year.
But maybe it's an indirect message too that you got the Ursary out there. But man, that guy is massive. If fans have not seen him, you'll get actually a chance on Saturday's first fan workout, although it's supposed to be a bad weather day. Hopefully they'll get it in for the fans. This guy's massively big here. I mean,
6'6", 331, Randy, and he looks even bigger, and he runs a 5.01. I think he's faster than a bunch of media guys, and he's probably faster than even some of the defensive guys. He is mobile. He's not just big. He is fast, and he's quick, and he's powerful, and he has got every tool, I think, to be a prototypical right or left tackle. But the other guys, it was Cam Robinson, it was Laken Tomlinson on the left side, and then right guard Titus Howard at his new position, which he seems to like, Randy, playing right guard.
Yeah, I mean, the jury's out again. I mean, you look at up and down the offensive line, has that not been topic number one throughout the whole offseason? I think that's not going to stop even when the regular season starts, because I think people are going to be cringing a little bit like, okay, is this group going to hold up and take care of C.J. Stroud? Because you got to take care of him. It opens up the passing game. CJ can do his thing. You got the running attack. It all starts up front with the offensive line. I mean, that can make or break the season. I think it might be a stretch, but it's a fact too that these guys have to prove they can deliver and produce.
A big believer in actions, not words, and obviously anyone can say anything, but what do you do when you're out on the field? And these guys will be tested later when they play against the Jared Verses and Braden Fisk and some of the great players for the Rams, which is an underrated defense. They play some good defense in Los Angeles. It's not just Hollywood style, Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. They've got a defense too. So Randy, we're going to head into day 2. What are some things you're going to look for tomorrow as the Texans get back on the field for the second day of practice?
I like for the first 4 or 5 days, just get reacquainted with the guys. Cause, we saw bits and pieces during mini camps, OTAs, that kind of stuff. I like when they allow us, and today they let us go to field 3, I believe, where the defense was working. I like just moving around and seeing just groups. I'm not really breaking down positions, so to speak, keeping an eye on things, and you're paying attention to the O-line. I got a glimpse of it, but I like just roaming around, just
I kind of miss
putting names to numbers, just kind of getting readjusted.
We'll wrap on this. I kind of miss seeing some of the defense, so we think they could have a great defense with Will Anderson Jr. kind of reinforcing that, but you were watching, I guess, the secondary a little bit?
I was watching in one particular, just little minor drills, but I liked watching Stingley and Mechie. He was working with, he was paired with Mechie out there, and I liked some of the drills they were doing. That's good for both of them. Probably even better for a guy like Mechie, who's really entering a really important camp for him. If he's one of those guys like you put a star by, like, will he make this football team and be a piece of it? But you go up against a guy like Derek Stingley every day, that's only going to make you better. Right,
and he was working after practice on the jugs. He was putting in some time. And Nico was trying to distract him, but he was locked in. But yeah, Mechie.
Keep talking.
Guys, wind. But yeah, Mechie, a hardworking guy, been through a lot. And so, yeah, hopefully Mechie will be able to get his career going, whether here or possibly somewhere else, Randy. I'm just speculating here. I'm not reporting. But could I see him ever being on the trade block? Maybe so. Guys, keep it locked here. This is my channel, and Randy's got his own YouTube channel, and we're on KPRC2 on television, and really proud to bring you guys the best Texans coverage we can do.
Absolutely.
And at www.click2houston.com. Until next time, guys, thank you.
See you guys.